Hello and welcome to the Phoenix International Raceway here tonight for the iRacing Northwest Tour presented by Joe's Racing Products. Twin A mains here tonight, 70 laps apiece. Should be interesting here in the desert. I'm Justin Kolb alongside Greg Rentz, and Greg, gonna have a little bit of an uncharacteristic race here tonight. It's mostly overcast here tonight, so it's gonna mean a cooler track, but we also have a special event going on here tonight as well.
Yeah, it's the Northwest Tour throwback race, Justin. A lot of old Northwest Tour drivers used to come down to this very track, Phoenix International Raceway, for the Copper World Classic every year. So we decided, well, with Old Phoenix on the schedule, let's make this a fun race and let's pay tribute to some of the old legends of the Northwest Tour. Guys who tore it up around the Northwest and up and down the West Coast for years and years and years. And this is our night to pay tribute to those guys, as we got guys running different numbers tonight. They are, instead of running their usual numbers, they're going to run the numbers in honor of the drivers that they are paying tribute to. They are running their cars, it's their numbers tonight. So a little bit of a fun race for you tonight.
Absolutely. So for some viewers coming back, might be a little difficult to keep track of everything tonight, but of course everybody's name and number will be up the top of the ticker there, so should be a little easier to follow suit that way. But a little bit of time left here. Why don't we take you through where everybody stands here with the points at the moment. Last week was a little bit more of a shakeup at the top. Jason Berg, 822 points to his name, and Sean Brightsman, the gap he made has fallen back just about all the way back to what it was before. 84 points now separates the top two in the standings. James Paulson not too far behind as well with 115. And you have Seth Fraser, 151 points back. Bart Hector Jr. rounds out your top five in the standings, 182 points back. BJ Tidricks, 190 points back. Travis McKinney, 191, close battle there. Garrett Huffines, 198 back. Matt Hackathorn, 205 back. And Scott Mann rounds out your top 10, 248 back. So, Greg, it's looking like Sean's going to need another poor night by Jason to be able to make up that gap here.
Yeah, Berg, he's kind of hit a little bit of a snag the last couple of races, hoping to get it righted here tonight. He qualified second quick. He is leading the charts right now. He's paying tribute to three-time NASCAR Northwest Tour champion Pete Harding tonight. Instead of running the usual 21 we're seeing out of him, he is running Pete Harding's number 39 car tonight. So, different look and number for the 21 of Jason Berg. We'll see how it runs for him throughout the course of the night.
Absolutely, and with all this special event going on as well, with all the cool paint schemes and numbers, don't really want to lose sight of the fact that this is race number 10 of the tour. Greg, after tonight, we only have 3 more races: Lucas Oil, South Boston, and finishing it off at New Smyrna.
Yeah, you mentioned we're getting down to crunch time here in the Northwest Tour. You're taking a look at the number 5. This is Travis McKinney, who normally runs the number 48. He's paying tribute to Chris Hart tonight, but you mentioned it, points battle beginning to shake down, and it's gonna be fun to see how this one plays out.
Absolutely. So getting ready to get to the grid here. Should be advancing soon enough. And mentioned it before, you can see the clouds there. A pretty uncharacteristic day here in the desert. Overcast. I think we saw the clouds pop out just a bit. You can see it there, just a tad. But for the most part, that should keep this track temp about as cool as it could get throughout the majority of the race. We're dealing with an 81-degree track temp at the moment. So I don't believe it'll get much hotter than that. Don't believe we'll be seeing in the 90s, but have to see what the weather has in store for us as we take it to the grid. The session has advanced, and we'll take you through your starting lineup here tonight.
Rolling off on the pole, timing in 16th, was the number 12 of Reggie Gill. He's going to be rolling off in the pole to his outside. The 125 of B.J. Tidrick. Reggie Gill paying tribute to Mike Sauls on the pole.
We have Scott Mann in the 11 here tonight in the 3rd spot. Bill Ross Jr. in the 83. Going to be rolling off next to him in 4th.
Andrew Richardson, newcomer to the tour, going to roll off in 5th with Brian Lambert in 6th spot.
Shane Quinn going to be starting in the 7th position. Christopher Heim in 8th. Kyle Lara going to start in the 9th position, and Garrett Huffines rounds out your top 10.
Travis McKinney in the 5, paying tribute to Chris Hart. Then it's the 199 of Scott Walker. Brad Morrison in the 84 paying tribute to Christian Roeder and various other drivers who have driven that 84, with Bart Hector Jr. in the 65. Jason Berg, Seth Fraser rounded out your drivers who made it on time.
They're advancing in Josh Childress, the winner of the B main, in 17th. Sean Breisman 18th. Josh Robinson 19th, and James Paulson in 20th. Matt Hackthorne in 21st. Dylan Huffines in 22nd. Those were your 6 that made it in through the B main. Daniel Masters and Casey Tillman come in 23rd and 24th with the provisionals. All right, so expecting pace car to pull it down this time. And there it goes. Getting set for our first A main of the night. Green flag is out, and we are racing here from Phoenix.
2 lap main events underway. This is the first one. Reggie Gill has the lead in the turn number 1, fighting off BJ Tidrick on the outside. Gill clears him down the backstretch. Reggie Gill to the lead early.
One thing we didn't get to mention is just how wide these corners can be in this track, so you can easily see 2 wide back in the pack, sometimes even 3 wide if these guys are bold enough to get that far, and turns 1 and 2 can get pretty wide as well. But the one thing you have to look out for at the exit of 2 is how quickly that corner narrows.
Remember, this is the old Phoenix. This is not the current incarnation ISM racing. This is the old Phoenix. This layout went away in 2011, so we'll see how these drivers react, because this is not the Phoenix that they're used to. This is the old school Phoenix that the Copper World Classic used to be run at every year.
Yes, sir. So no bus stop going to be in play here tonight, or the dog leg, excuse me. Grass really all the way around this racetrack, so for some who are more accustomed to the newer Phoenix, this is kind of a different pace, but for the most part, it about drives the same.
A little bit. I think there's a little bit less banking in this incarnation than there is in the new one, but doesn't seem to be affecting any of these guys. This one car slid way up the track. Justin wasn't able to catch a number. Were you able to on that one?
I believe it was contact with the 73 of Seth Fraser and the 199 of Scott Walker. A little bit of contact in 3 and 4, but no harm, no foul. Those guys keep it straight and keep it going.
Meanwhile, up front, Reggie Gill paying tribute to Mike Sauls in the number 12. And this is just one of just so many incredible paint schemes that we have seen this weekend here in the Arizona desert. So much fun seeing all these old paint schemes. For me, it's like I'm a kid again out here in the Northwest.
Tell you what, we have some great racing towards the back around the 10th place area. Maybe a little bit farther back, that battle starts with Brad Morrison in the 84 and Bart Hector Jr. in the 65. Those are our first side-by-side battles back there.
And our B-main winner, Josh Childress, he's trying to make his way up, as is Matt Hackathorn in the 46. A couple more of the throwback schemes. Josh Childress paying tribute to John Bender and Matt Hackathorn, Jeff Parkshire.
Man, it got pretty tight off corner number 4 that last time. Both of these corners really, turns 2 and 4, really narrow up in a hurry, and it can get pretty dicey when those cars come off side by side with each other. Already seeing a couple guys wiggle and almost 3 wide into 1.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it here, a little hornet's nest going on with Hackathorn and Morrison up front. Then Dylan Huffines. I think Huffines is probably the only guy, actually both Huffines brothers looking at it, the only 2 that are running their normal numbers in this throwback race. Dylan in the 7 paying tribute to Ron Eaton is older brother Garrett right behind them in the 42, paying tribute to Jeff Jefferson.
Oh, a bit of a hornet's nest back there. They're trying to make it 3 wide, and they had it for just a second. Great side-by-side battle there. It looked like up towards the front. Kind of side-by-side battle for about the 5th spot. Like the 9 of Andrew Richardson and the 033 of Shane Quinn. The 5 of Travis McKinney there. Got
That's the 39. I wanted to say Pete Harding so bad. So don't blame me if I start calling these guys just by who they're actually paying tribute to. Like right now, we got Chris Hart and Pete Harding trying to fend off the 033, but don't look now because Gary Lewis and Garrett Evans are coming in a big hurry. Seth Fraser in the Lewis car, Brian Lambert in the Garrett Evans car.
a little blink by Shane Quinn there and got stuck on the bottom. Still some connection issues happening with that 033.
Fraser is able to get around him now. Pete taking it inside, look to the inside of Hart as Jason Berg driving the Pete Harding Special 39. Pete just retired this past season after a 50-year career behind the wheel of that bright yellow 39. Hung it up after a 50-year career. So Jason Berg, points leader, paying tribute to the 3-time champion. But he's got a 4-time champion, Gary Lewis, right behind him. Sorry, 2-time champion. Got my wires crossed for a second.
That's quite the amazing career. And in the 9, a little bit loose there. Andrew Richardson on the bottom. That checked the 39 of Jason Berg up just a bit. But everybody keeps it straight.
That allowed Seth Fraser to get by. And I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised that the particular Gary Lewis paint scheme that Seth Fraser went. He went old school Gary Lewis for the last bit of Gary Lewis's career, which just restarted this past year with an Idaho 200 victory. He was running solid orange cars. We haven't seen the teal and orange car in years in the Northwest, so it's really cool to see Seth Fraser paying tribute with that particular paint scheme. Awesome to see.
Like Christopher Heim back there got a little loose. Sean Brightsman was able to rocket around the outside in that 33.
And Brightsman, he's paying tribute to the 33 of Kevin Hamlin is the car or driver who made that one the most well-known. You may know Kevin Hamlin as he did make a couple cup attempts and he settled in for a while. He was Casey Kane's spotter for a while in the 33 as we go yellow.
46 of Matt Hackthorne around on the front straightaway. And another car there, the 84.
The 84 of Morrison also. So Berkshire and Rotor go around.
Oh man, both of those cars hard into the wall. Oh my goodness, that involved quite a bit
on the
cars.
lid,
Yeah.
and you have to imagine another car got swept up in that as well, based on how that went. Let's take another look at it. So the Huffines brothers in front of Hackathorn. Boy, they both just shot into the wall.
I was gonna say it's very rare that both cars, or you get 2 cars at the exact same time, get the wall.
And who was that red and blue car that, I don't know if he snuck through or got collected by the 42 of Huffines as he bounced up. We're on board with Garrett now. Man, that was a hard shot.
Up and over.
I believe that was the 04, the Neil Newberry tribute.
Well, that's gonna take some guys down pit road. Take some damage.
That's Daniel Masters in the 04 paying tribute to Neil Newberry. The main races in Wenatchee for the Super Late Model Series here in the Northwest is named after the driver of that famed 04 car, Neil Newberry, the Neil Newberry Memorial 125. Won for the 2nd year in a row this year by Brittany Zamora, who her K&N East debut got rained out in New Smyrna tonight. She'll be in action tomorrow, but that's one way we pay tribute to Neil Newberry in the Northwest. So Daniel Masters electing to pay tribute to him again tonight.
And you had mentioned Kevin Hamlin before, Greg. He is, you mentioned he was Casey Kane's spotter. He's actually, now at this point, Alex Bowman's spotter on that 88. Congratulations to them for getting on the front row for the 500. So,
yeah, another Hendrick 1, 2, 3, 4. But Kevin Hamlin has settled in with Hendrick Motorsports as a spotter. But this is where he cut his racing teeth, driving this 33 car around the Northwest. Still to this day. Actually, I believe his record fell a couple years ago, but I know for a while he held the record for most consecutive laps led in the Northwest Series.
that is a very cool tidbit that I did not know, and I'm glad I do know now. So, lights are off on the pace car, so we'll get racing once again. It is still Reginald Gill on the front row, as well as BJ Tidrick. That has not changed since the drop of the green. Travis McKinney in third, Bill Ross Jr. in fourth, and Jason Berg rounds out your top 5 here for this restart.
So Reggie Gill making his first start of the year, making it worthwhile, and this series has been pretty kind to guys making their first starts. They've had some success. Haven't seen a breakthrough win yet, but let's see if Reggie Gill can snap that streak as he powers the Mike Sauls 12 into the front.
BJ putting up a little fight on that outside and will not surrender it. He'll get side by side with Gill down the back straightaway.
And I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Caution is out. It was just
got the
ready. Oh, the
357 and the 2.
So Christopher Heim and Josh Robinson going around.
Looks like that was around. Oh, wow. Wow. That 2 car got up in the air in a hurry, huh? See if we can get a better look at what happened. This is the car just behind. 2 cars just going for the same piece of real estate, it looked like. And
boy, great job by Dylan Huffines and Matt Hackathorn both to get through that. That was on board with Josh Childress, the 18. I almost thought that Childress caught a piece of that, but he didn't. He did a great job getting through that as well. We're on board with Christopher Heim in the 2 right now. Vicious.
I think it's the second week in a row that we've had cars that seem to like to get airborne quickly. I'm not sure if it was I'm not sure if it was something to do with an iRacing update or not, but cars seem to get a little bit more air now.
Not sure, but that's our second caution this first 80-lap race. We're a quarter of the way through, 20 laps in. Reggie Gill has led every lap so far in the 12. BJ Tidrick, Travis McKinney, Jason Berg, I almost said Pete Harding, and Andrew Richardson round out the top 5. Don't go away. You're watching the Northwest Tour Throwback Night.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking.
Welcome back to the desert, ladies and gentlemen. Phoenix International Raceway, the Northwest Tour Throwback Night for the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products. Reggie Gill has led all 22 laps of this first 80-lap main event here at Phoenix, paying tribute to Mike Sauls as it's Northwest Tour Throwback Night, getting set to go back green. And Justin, it hasn't been much action up front, but back in the pack, it's been fun to watch.
Yes, sir, it has. And I tell you what, if that caution did not come out, I think we would have gotten a great side-by-side battle for that race lead. BJ Tidrick was putting on quite a fight and was there basically at the door, almost to the nose. We had that yellow flag to interrupt, so see if BJ Tidrick can't get another good restart like he did last time and try and put up a fight here.
So field in the hands of Mike Sauls, or Reggie Gill, if you will. Green flag in hand. We are back underway, and Gill gets a much better restart there as Hart and Harding go to war behind him. That's Travis McKinney and Jason Berg.
Man, Gill wasted absolutely no time on that restart. Pace car went down, and man, was he all over that gas pedal. It's a great fight for second now, though, with BJ Tidrick and Travis McKinney. Jason Berg trying to get into that battle as well.
BJ Tidrick paying tribute to his father, Brad Tidrick, one of his old paint schemes. But don't look away, because there's a couple of Yakima Speedway regulars, Chris Hart and Brad Tidrick, going to war for second now.
Andrew Richardson trying to stick his nose in between there. 2 rows of 2 wide there. And Richardson.
And don't look now. Sorry, Justin, but don't look now. The winner of the last 2 races, probably the hottest driver in the Northwest Tour, Kyle Lahr, is bringing in that Shane Mitchell 99 on a tear to the front. I gotta say, that's probably my favorite throwback car, because every time that you saw that 99 car unload, it was bad fast. Mitchell just hung it up at the end of the 2017 season, and Kyle Lahr, the way he's been driving the last few weeks reminds me so much of Shane Mitchell and how much speed he had in that 99 car. I have to say, that was about the perfect choice for Kyle Lahr to wheel that 99 car.
Oh man, that's getting pretty close. The 9 of Andrew Richardson in contact with Kyle Lahr. The 9 upside down, and huge contact on the front straightaway.
Oh, the announcer's curse struck me this time.
That 9 car is still upside down in turn 1, finally back on its wheels. That car slid on its roof halfway down the front straightaway all the way into turn 1 and hit the wall on the roof. Man.
Breitzman and Fraser also caught up in that, in the 33 and the 73.
Quite the hurry.
Man, Scott Walker came in too. I missed that on the initial one. Scott Walker blasted him.
This is the onboard with the 9 of Andrew Richardson. All right, he took. Surprisingly, though, he's still rolling. Yeah, he just kind of shook it off, and he's still rolling right now. So
here's one more look at the contact there. On board with Breitzman. That's a lot of fast cars that just got swept up in that one.
Happened so quick, too, and not a whole lot of... Really nowhere for these guys to go at that point as well. The hard hit there with Kyle Lahr. That first hit, I don't think iRacing really counted. Kind of just went through him, but that second one absolutely did some damage.
Yeah, that hit with Scott Walker, man, he just got plastered in that one. So back up front, Reggie Gill driving the Mike Sauls tribute, still leading. BJ Tidrick has been right there with him the entire time. Justin, it's been a wild one so far. I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys are happy that there's a second race coming up soon.
Absolutely. Get them some fresh cars, and it's funny. I believe our last Twin A events was at Martinsville, and there, the person who started on pole led just about all the laps and went to victory lane. So, could be a trend we see continue here tonight as well, as Reginald Gill has been up front this whole time.
And if you want to go back even further, the second Twin main in New Hampshire had the same situation, where Matt Hackathorn led all 70 laps, and then Chance Overholt and James Paulson each led all 70 laps in that Martinsville duel that you talked about. So yeah, the last 3 duels have been led wire to wire. We'll see if Reggie Gill can hold on and make it 4 in a row.
That would be very interesting in what I believe is our last Win A event. All 3 of them kind of finished out the same.
I believe we have one more twin main event race coming up in South Boston.
Well, that one should be a fun one. South Boston is always a fun track to go to. It's small, not a whole lot of room for racing, but always produces a lot of fantastic racing.
Especially in the late model ranks, both super late models and late model stocks. That track is just so much fun to watch racing at.
Oh yeah, fun to watch and fun to run at, that's for sure.
I know that one has a lot of guys' attention, but we're at Phoenix right now where Reggie Gill continues to lead, and he has done a great job with this race.
All right, well, lights on the pace car are out, but we will be going green this time. It'll be a single file restart, so nothing for Gill to really worry about this time in terms of getting pressured from the outside. Well, the pressure will be behind now, but man, he did not mess around on that last restart. He once that pace car dived down, he made sure he was gone.
See if he can do it again. Single file, this is definitely going to play into his hand. Now, the car I'm curious about right now is the 73 of Gary Lewis. Well, 73 of Lewis's who normally drives it. That's Seth Fraser in the 73 tonight. I'm curious about him because he got caught up in that wreck. I'm curious how that car is going to handle the rest of this race.
Well, we will find out as pace car is in. Green flag back out. And Gill on the loud pedal once again. Jason Berg, a fantastic restart. To the inside of BJ Tidrick, he goes into 1.
I think there was just a hair of contact between Berg and Tidrick that time by. But man, oh man, he looks just like P. Harding out there. Oh, contact!
Tidrick into the wall.
Can he keep it going? And yes, he can, and he will not lose the spot. Great driving by BJ Tidrick.
How did those two save those race cars? That was incredible. Taking a look here from the chopper. Yeah, and keep the position. Wow. Oh, and caution's out. Like the 357 of Josh Robinson around in turn number 2.
And Robinson not having a good run of it so far in that 357. That's his second incident already.
That was some net code right there. Contact that should not have occurred. We go under the yellow once again here tonight. As you mentioned, Josh not having a fantastic night right now. He's one of the drivers, Greg, I'm sure is going to be ecstatic when we get that second A main up.
Oh, definitely. And honestly, I think pretty much everyone except the top 5 is going to be ecstatic about that, just the way this race has been unfolding so far.
We're just a few laps shy from halfway for this first A main of the night. 32 coming to 33 laps complete. Once again, it's been all original Gill show up front there in that 12.
And Reggie Gill, he doesn't get to race a whole lot, neither in iRacing nor in his mini stock in the Northwest. But man, when he does, he is a force out there. So I honestly cannot say I'm surprised to see Reggie Gill running as strong as he is right now.
Greg, I think you mentioned it before we went live that you wouldn't be surprised if he had some speed here tonight. And, well, he's led just about all of them so far. So I guess your guess was correct.
Yeah, Reggie Gill, it's so much fun to watch him when he drives because he doesn't get to very often, but when he's in the field, you know it's going to be one heck of a performance, and he's proving it right now.
Not to knock BJ Tidrick as well. He's been up there all night as well in that second spot. Really hasn't left it and just about lost it with the slight contact between Jason Berg and himself. But the guy's doing a great job of keeping it straight and keeping it together. Question I have is if that 125 has damage, and it does on that right side. I'd say a fair bit of damage, but could just be cosmetic. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, the thing is, that caution came out so quickly after that incident, we didn't get to see if that was affecting the 125 at all, as he was able to maintain his position, but we weren't really able to see what it was going to do because the caution came out a couple of laps after that incident, so not sure what that 125 is going to do on this restart. So he's the one I'm keeping my eye on this restart, especially with Jason Berg lurking.
Absolutely. See if Berg can't get another great restart like that last one. He was all over it. Yeah, this could be an interesting restart. Should that 125 not be up to Tidricks standards, could be very interesting turn one, but I don't think he hit it hard enough to really do that amount of damage, but we'll have to wait and see once they take the green and head into one.
So we will see what happens.
There go the lights. Try it again. Reggie Gill up front. Has been up front this entire race, as well as BJ Tidrick in second. Jason Berg in third. Travis McKinney fourth. Sean Breitzman rounds out your top five.
I was kind of glancing through the field a little bit. One car who I noticed that has really kept it clean the whole time, and that's saying something the way this race has gone, is the 65, Bart Hector Jr., driving the 65 tonight. He has no damage on that car whatsoever so far, so Hector running in the 8th spot right now. He's hanging tough in there, and he's had a good run in that 65 car. Watch for him to make some moves here now.
Well, let's see what he can do here. Everybody up towards the wall. Another single file restart. Pace car going to dive down, and Gill all over this one once again. Green flag back out.
Another fantastic restart for Reggie Gill. He has these restarts pegged right now in that 12 car. And noticing that Tidrick not really able to hang as well with him as he was on the last restart. Here comes Berg once again. Same move as last time. We'll see what happens. Right here is where it got interesting, but this time Berg's able to clear.
Yeah, it just didn't look like Tidrick had the power out of the corner through 1 and 2. Seemed like he came back a little bit in 3 and 4. Not sure if that car is damaged or not, but still looks like it's a fast race car.
Travis McKinney hanging tough in the 4th spot. In the 5, Chris Hart car with Sean Breitzman, the Kevin Hamlin tribute, right behind him. That's your top 5 right now. But it's all Reggie Gill up front, but now he's got the points leader, Jason Berg, in his rearview mirror.
Like the 73 of Seth Fraser was kind of falling back the wrong way on that restart. Back to 9th at the moment. Seemed like he's just getting passed left and right as he's got the 30 of James Paulson.
Man, that is a cool sight to see. The 73 of Lewis and the 64 of Evans. That right there was the battle for about 15 years in the Northwest and counting, because Lewis just came out of retirement this past year. Evans still going strong. That 64, that 73, that was the battle in the Northwest for years. It is so cool to see it here at Phoenix right now.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be the battle once again. Seth Fraser's tried to get the nose up to the bumper a few times, hasn't been able to make it work, and here comes James Paulson underneath. Not going to quite have the spot at the moment, but he'll try again through 3, and he'll get the run out of 4. Little blink there.
Meanwhile, speaking of battle, great battle going on between Tidrick, McKinney, and Breitzman, but Jason Berg has caught up to Reggie Gill. This is the biggest challenge Gill has had all day so far.
The points leader just behind and lurking. Like you said, just behind that. A great battle for that 3rd spot. That looks like it could get interesting any minute. He's still side by side. This battle for the front goes on. Tell you what, as that battle for the lead goes on, Travis McKinney's showing a lot of speed right now in that 5 car. He's to the inside of the 125 of BJ Tidrick, and he's been working it ever since he's gotten to BJ. And he's trying oh so hard to get to that 3rd spot, and I think he might get it into 3 here. That seems to be where he's been better.
He's paying tribute to the mayor of Terrace Heights, Washington, Chris Hart, and he got the spot there, but what a run by Tidrick on the outside there.
Look now, 33 is Sean Breitzman coming into this mix as well. Noted how he had to have a great night to try and catch up to the points leader of Jason Berg. Currently 2nd right now, so he's going to need a little bit of help.
And don't look now because John Pender with a move to the inside. Josh Childress makes the move in the 18 as Fraser takes a peek. Actually, sorry, that's Berg. Fraser ran that same paint scheme earlier in the year, so got kind of used to that. Back to this battle as McKinney has gotten around, pulling Breitzman with him. Childress and Hector right there with him.
Yeah, Childress kind of ran out of racetrack that last time by, used all of that rumble strip there through the dog leg. Looks like that battle is sort of settled down for the moment. BJ Tidrick, the big loser in that, back to 7th at the moment.
Back to the lead. Reggie Gill continues to lead. Mike Sauls, Pete Harding going to war via Reggie Gill and Jason Berg. And Berg, he's been the points leader. He's been the dominant car this season. We go yellow.
Oh, no. Kyle
Lahr.
On the wall in turn 1.
And what a shame that is because mentioned it earlier. I have to say that one's probably my favorite throwback scheme in this race is that Shane Mitchell one. Oof.
That almost looked like
Contact
some more.
with Masters.
Almost looked like some more netcode from that 04 car.
See if we can catch an onboard camera with the 04 and see if we can maybe get an accurate view. This might help out the view from the chopper.
Yeah, it was going to be contact either way, so. Very unfortunate for Kyle Lahr. Actually changed his name on iRacing, so I can't mistakenly call him Charles anymore.
I think we were at like 15-1 because I know I did it a couple times and it kept tricking you. But so you're probably very happy to see that.
Oh yeah. And it looks like Kyle has disconnected for the night for this first A main, so that will be the end of his night, at least in this first race. He will join, it looks like, Brad Morrison, Shane Quinn, Garrett Huffines, and Scott Mann as drivers out of this race here tonight.
So the win streak stops at 2 for Kyle Lahr. However, still another one to go today, so Lahr could still leave with a trophy 3 weeks in a row in this second race, but the consecutive win streak stops at 2 for Kyle Lahr. Tough break.
I want to excuse myself. You just saw the 84 Brad Morrison go around. He is still on the track, just 1 lap down, and it looks like he'll get back on the lead lap now with that lucky dog. We are past halfway. 33 laps remaining in this first A main. Of course, we have one more 80-lap race to go, and those 4 drivers we named before are definitely looking forward to that second one.
And I gotta say, the heat-seeking missile of those 4 is probably going to be Kyle Lahr, but I wouldn't count Garrett Huffines out of that category either because we've seen it. When Huffines' internet is cooperating, he is right there in the mix, but when his connection is having issues like it's had a few times this year, it knocks him out, and that's a big shame because both Huffines brothers are always threats, so you can tell they are itching to get a good run in the 42 and the 7.
Absolutely. Still in the race at the moment, currently inside the top 10 and 9th. And as we mentioned, Garrett no longer in this race. Really, Garrett just trying to find a break at this point. He did finish, I believe, on the podium last week. But ever since, really, other than that, his past 3 races before last week have just not gone his way. Hasn't really been able to make a lap.
And what a shame that is, because he had such a strong start to the season. He led laps in the season opener at USA and finished third the following race at Richmond. So he got off to such a strong start. To have these issues pop up mid-season definitely just got to be discouraging. So you know Garrett's going to be looking for something to try to build some momentum on moving into this final push.
Well, eighth in the point standings at the moment. He has quite a bit of work to do. We want to catch up, but I think it might take quite a bit more for him to get back into this points battle. All right, lights on the pace car are off. G. Guild still your leader, has led all the laps here tonight. Jason Berg second, Travis McKinney third, Sean Brightsman in fourth, Josh Childress rounds out your top five.
So Gill, he's had to fend off Tidrick every restart. Has not gone to war with Berg on a restart yet. Let's see what happens as we're green.
You know what? Berg timed that out pretty well. Thought he was gonna shoot for that inside. Thinks better of it heading into turn one.
Berg taking a little bit of a higher groove through 1 and 2 than
There.
Gill did.
Oh, and some blocking as they head into turn three. That's going to cost Gill, though, on exit.
People will shut the door and hang on to it for the time being. Getting a run on the outside, though.
Gill does not want to surrender that bottom lane. It's going to be side by side for the lead, and new leader, Jason Berg to the front, and Gill under battle now from the 5 of Travis McKinney as well for second now.
That high rent district working right now as Berg brings Hart and Brightsman by. Here comes Childress. He's thinking high side as well. Boy. So Jason Berg driving the Pete Harding special out in front. Coming back on the inside, though, there was Reggie Gill as he fought back on Brightsman a little bit. Lost it on corner, though. And let's see what he has here. Boy, that 12 is just so strong on entry, but right there is where he loses his momentum.
Definitely good on corner entry, but exit is where he's going to need to find a bit of pace. And each time he's been forced a little lower than I'm sure he'd like to be. And that's just hurting his exit even more. Oh, I believe the 5 of Travis McKinney caught the wall just a tad up front.
He's got heavy damage on that 5 car that I do not recall seeing there. So he must have caught it a hard shot.
Brightsman is on the outside. He's trying to get past for the second spot.
Oh, Childress hard in the wall. That was a shot for the 18, and that allowed Reggie Gill to pull up on the outside. Here comes Hector, the 65. Man, that was a wicked shot for the 18. I believe this is...
I was just going to say, while all that's happening as well, Jason Berg slowly pulling away with that lead. Comes the 18 of Josh Childress behind, underneath the 5 of Travis McKinney. No fighting back. Is McKinney on that high side? They're getting pretty close on corner exit. 3 wide down the back.
Wow, and look at the big beneficiary. How about Reggie Gill in the 12?
Those two were not happy with each other. Off two, some contact there with Gill.
Gill and Hart contact, Gill and McKinney. And Hector gets around the 125 Tidricks was behind Hector. Thought Hector had made the pass. Where's Brightsman at? Is Brightsman ahead of this?
Brightsman second place right now, so.
Yes, he is ahead of this. So focused on this battle, lost track of where the 33 car was. Top 2 in points, top 2 on the charts right now with 24 to go.
Side by side into one. Gill and Childress, and I have to believe it might get a little bit more interesting. Should Childress get to the back of the 5, which he does now, gets by the 12. Looks like he'll try to get to the inside. No, thinks better of it on corner entry. Should get a good exit here.
Here comes Hector to the outside of Gill as well. So Hector beginning to make noise late in this one. Wow, man, McKinney got so close to the wall on the 5 car. Off of 4 that time. On board. with the 65 of Hector. He's got the best seat in the house in this battle between Childress and McKinney as he clears Gill.
Oh, some contact there with the 7 of Dylan Huffines. He gets really loose, and it was contact with, I believe that was the 25 of Casey Tillman. He did a nice slide and recovered from it.
Oh yeah. Wow. What a save by Dylan Huffines.
Absolutely. A bit of a drift in 3 and 4. I'm sure the tires aren't going to appreciate that, but he'll get a fresh set here in about 21 laps.
Back to this battle up front, which seems to have settled down for the time being between McKinney and Childress. But now a new battle breaks out as the 64 of Lambert goes to war with BJ Tidrick and that Evans Blue. Beautiful car, and it's another one that's been kept intact so far. No visible damage on the 64.
And Greg, I think it's safe to say at this point that 125 did sustain some sort of suspension damage, or at least damage that would affect the handling on that car, because that car has not been the same ever since I caught the turn 3 wall.
Yeah, would have to agree with you on that one, but here's a good old Tidrick Evans battle. We haven't seen this in a long time in Northwest, so kind of fun to see. Tidrick on the outside, Lambert on the inside. Tidrick has it at the line.
He always seems so close to hitting that wall off the 4. It seems like he's able to get it back to the left just before he gets it as well.
Casey Tillman creeping into the picture. He's paying tribute to Impress in that 25. Don't look away. He's creeping up there. That's James Paulson, 30. In there as well. He's beginning to creep up. Boy, Tillman, he is closing the gap very quickly in that 25 car.
Those two are battling side by side. That's allowed him to catch up and basically on the rear bumper now of the 125.
That was a huge run for Tillman the last couple of laps. He closed in a second in about a lap and a half. Let's see what he's got here off turn number 4. Looking ahead at the Lambert-Tidrick battle. See what he's got off forward. Kind of not really following either of them in the tire tracks and leaning towards the 125 of Tidrick, who's able to clear Lambert for the time being. But here comes Tillman to the outside of Evans or Lambert. Tidrick shuts the door.
Able to clear, and now I think it's going to be a battle between that 64 and 25 at this point.
Yeah, some tactical driving by these guys, using the apron to their advantage a little bit, as Lambert is able to settle the Evans 64 down. Back up front. Hey, here we go. Rematch between McKinney and Childress with a new guy up there. Hector is trying to get up there.
And then 18 of Childress entered high, exited low, and he's going to get a great run, a little contact, a little hey, I'm here bump, the back bumper. And he really drove it in center. He's going to pay for it on exit. Is he going to hit the wall?
He hits the wall. And he had to fight it, and that's going to allow Hector to get a run on the inside. A couple Central Washington boys right there. Childress out of Wenatchee, Hector out of Ephrata. Here comes Reggie Gill, one of the Western Washington guys. What a run he got on Hector there, as I think Hector may have had to check up. I believe he made contact.
That battle between the 125 and the 64. PJ Tidrick and Brian Lambert heating up just a little bit again. Behind. Those three cars still under a blanket.
Man, love these throwback schemes, as Gill taking a peek to the outside of Hector. Took a peek low that time by. Not missing anything up front. Jason Berg has opened up a 2.2 second lead over Sean Breitzman, as And he's 2.2 ahead of that battle we were watching. So Pete Harding and Kevin Hamlin running away from Chris Hart, John Bender right now. But it is a battle back here between McKinney, Childress, and Hector, with Reggie Gill waiting in the catbird seat to play spoiler if needed.
Lambert.
Meanwhile, Lambert to the inside. So much like we've seen out of the 64 in the Northwest, driven by Garrett Evans, that car just seems to come to life in the later stages of the races around here, and Lambert not doing it any differently. Wow. I don't think he could have fit a piece of paper between those two right there.
Well, Lambert's going to get the spot for now. Oh, and man, cuts him off entering the corner. Looks like that's going to hurt him just a bit, and there's going to be contact.
Oh, there's one car going around up there. McKinney. They were I think that was a checkup because they saw McKinney going around.
Well, we have to ask what happened with McKinney, and I think I might know what.
There it is.
That was probably a racing deal, though. That seemed like you guys.
Yeah, that didn't look intentional.
No. But those guys had been battling hard for really the past 20 laps or so. I mean, he came up just a bit, and I think that was just a tad bit of neck coat. Again, that didn't look like it was close enough to really turn that car like that.
And lost in that, Lambert made one heck of a save as they were checking up to try to avoid it. Let's see here. This is from Tidrick. Did you see the accident breakout? Yeah, separate accidents, but what a save by Lambert in the 64. Just happened to be timed out just to where it looked like they were checking up to dodge the spinning 5 cars. There's your leader, Jason Berg, driving the Pete Harding 39 with just 8 laps to go. Justin, we're set for a shootout.
Yeah, I was going to say, Greg, I think we're set for a shootout. And not only a shootout, it's a shootout between our top 2 in points. So this could get very interesting. Bright's going to have to do a whole lot of driving if he wants to try and gain some points here on his championship rival.
And how about that? Hector up to 3rd in 65. Brad Morrison, the lucky dog, in the 84. Want to also say, in memory of Frank Brandt, the car owner of that 84, and that was just such a heartbreaking deal that happened. That team was on their way to compete in the Montana 200. The hauler got caught up in an accident on the freeway headed to the race, and unfortunately we lost car owner Frank Brandt, who owned that 84 car that at the time was being driven by Christian Roeder, and at the time he was one of the top dogs in the Northwest. He was a threat everywhere he went. So definitely heartbreaking to see how that all went down. We lost of Frank Brandt, and it's just so good to see that Block 84 back on the track one more time. Great class by Brad Morrison to pay tribute to that team tonight.
Absolutely. All right, well, I'm thinking about 4 laps to go is when we're going to be going back racing here. And obviously at that point, any flag after we take the green flag will end the race, whether it's the yellow flag or the white flag. Yep, but we do have another 80-lap event after this one, so those guys who destroyed their cars in this one are going to be oh so glad for that second one. Are the lights out now? They are. So we will get a restart with 5 laps to go. Should we get another yellow, right? I mean, if we don't make a lap, I think it would be a 1-lap or a 2-lap shootout. But other than that, I think the race would be over. So, Jason Berg, your leader. Sean Brightsman second. Bart Hector Jr. in 3rd. Reggie Guild in 4th. Brian Lambert rounds out your top 5 here. This could be the money restart for Sean Brightsman. See how good that 33 is here tonight.
All right, Pete Harding versus Kevin Hamlin. coming your way here at Phoenix. Pace car ducks in, and Harding with a great start. Man, that was a classic Jason Berg start right there.
And that was a horrible restart for Sean Brightsman. Has 5 laps to try and make it up, though. I think he's really digging hard in turn 1 and 2.
Trying to reel back in Fraser and hold off Hector at the same time, but Hector is locked in the duel with Gill and Lambert right there. Man, what a sight that is to see all these old Northwest legends paint schemes out there right now.
I think that 39 car might just be a little too good for Sean Brightsman to catch at this point. It seemed like it was gapping him down the front straightaway as the battle going on, or starting to brew for that second spot between Brightman and Hector.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is shaping up to be a battle for the second spot, and that's going to be the battle for the rest of this race as Hector's all over the back of Sean Brightsman right now. Don't look away, though, because Reggie Gill, the early leader, and Brian Lambert in the 64. Man, oh man, just so much fun to see all these paint schemes out on the track one last time.
3 laps to go. Next flag will end it. Oh, and almost some contact between that 64 and 12. That got really close off corner number 2 and is going to continue to get close as they head into corner number 3.
I think that was as close as you could get without contact, and they just did again. This is outstanding stuff.
2 laps to go. That 64 gets the spot on the 12. And man, Tidrick tried to get underneath that 12. The battle for between that 64 and 12 going to start up once again.
Man, Reggie Gill, I don't think he had but 2 inches between either Lambert or Tidrick when he went into the turn that time. This is incredible.
A great battle there as Jason Berg off corner number 4 going to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go in this first A main event.
Boy, Justin, how many wins is this going to be for Jason Berg? Because I lost count. This is going to be number 5 for him this year? 4, 5, 6?
I'm with you, and it's only going to help his point situation. It wasn't already good enough for him. Corner number 4, he's off of it. He's going to take another checkered flag home tonight at Phoenix. Jason Berg going to win your first A main event of the night.
Just like old times, the old yellow 39 in victory lane once again at Phoenix, this time driven by Jason Berg. Sean Brightsman comes home second in the 33 car, and Hector comes home in the 3rd spot.
These guys are going to get lined up for their pictures, and then we'll see if we can't grab a word with a few of them. I was really hoping they'd keep up the tradition that Kyle Larr started, where they do burnouts on the front stretch and then just whip it around for the picture. All right, Greg, let's see if we can't catch up with our 3rd place finisher here tonight.
Hey, Bart Hector Jr., Greg Rentz in the tower. Got a copy.
Got a copy.
Hey, man, that was one heck of a run. You just kept some patience and just picked your battles, and here you are on the podium. That was a solid run for you in driving the 65 tonight.
Yeah, just dodged some of the wrecks and figured out a new lineup in the second group towards the end. It seemed to help a lot, so I'll take it.
That's got to give you some confidence going into race number 2 here this evening, knowing that you were able to work your way through the field like that and come home with a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really have a lot of laps at this track, so I didn't practice all week. Today's the first time I ever had any laps on it this week, so I'm pretty proud of myself at the moment.
That's definitely got to give you some confidence. We'll let you get ready for the second race, but real quick, who do you want to give a shout out to?
I don't know, really. Nobody?
All right, man. We'll let you go get ready. Congratulations on 3rd place, Bart Hector Jr.
All right, thanks.
And Justin, believe you have caught up with 2nd place, Sean Brightsman.
Sean Brightsman, Justin Kolb, you got a copy?
Got a copy, Justin.
All right. Second place finish for you here tonight, racking up some good runs here in the late going of the season. And top it all off, got that old school 33 number on the door tonight.
Yeah, I had a good run there. Would have liked to battle Mr. Berg there in the Harding scheme, but just didn't have enough for him. He was a little faster there on the short run and in the long run, really, or the short long run that we did have.
And Sean, it just seems to kind of be your style here. You just slowly and methodically work your way up towards the front and somehow find your way up at the front at the finishes here.
Yeah, it seems to really work out to my driving style pretty well, and thankfully I haven't been into too many wrecks, so that definitely helps being able to get up to the front and do it with some passive aggressiveness, I guess I would call it. So
absolutely, it seems like you're very patient with your moves, and really pays off for you. Well, one race in the books, one more to go before we let you go. Who do you got to thank for this performance tonight?
I just got to thank everybody at the Northwest Tour for having a throwback night. Got to thank Kevin Hamlin for running the scheme in the Northwest Tour, and everybody that's partake in the historical race. It's really cool to see all the paint schemes out there that are a throwback to that Northwest history.
All right, well, congratulations on second here tonight. We hope to talk to you one more time here tonight.
Thank you, Justin.
And Greg, I believe you've caught up with the winner.
And Jason Berg, Greg Rentz in the tower. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, the old 39 looked like it did for many a years throughout the Northwest out here tonight. You just drove the wheels off that thing from 15th to the win in duel number 1.
Yeah, I had some old Harding luck on my side, I think. That was a fun race. It was a little bit intense. I hope that everybody got their wrecking out of the way for that one, and we can all just race it out without a caution this next one.
All right, Jason. Tell us about that battle you had with Reggie Gill, because Gill had a lot of speed in the early stages and looked like you were putting some pressure on a little bit, and you were able to get around him pretty quickly. How hard did you have to work to get around him to get there? Because he had some speed in the early stages.
Yeah, Reggie was driving the wheels off that thing. I was kind of feeling it out. I felt like I could get off the corners better than he could, but he was driving a pretty wide car, so I was really kind of having to feel it out, and I definitely didn't want to get into him. So I think if he wouldn't have given me the outside there like he did later on, I don't know that I would have been able to get by him for quite some time, if at all, because that on used tires, the outside seems to be the way to go. But other than that, yeah, he was driving a heck of a race.
All right, Jason, we'll let you get ready for race number 2, but before you go, who do you want to give a shout out to?
First off, 3Wide TV, Seth and BJ, I know they put a ton of work into this. This whole throwback thing's really cool. It's really awesome to see all those old schemes out there. It brings back a lot of memories from when I was a little kid. And Mike Wood, I know he did a lot of these paint jobs, and I got to thank him for letting me run one of his cars tonight. And last but not least, G4 Serial Media. Check them out, g4serialmedia.com. They're also on Facebook.
All right, man, we'll let you go get ready for race number 2. Jason Berg, winner of race number 1. All right, Justin, 1 in the books, 1 to go, and man, that I gotta say, probably that was one of the best races of the year. This was entertainment from start to finish.
Absolutely, those wide corners really pay dividends for the type of racing that we can see here at this track. So, your winner here tonight was Jason Berg. Comes home with the win. Still has one more race to go if he wants to try and sweep it here tonight. Sean Breisman, his points rival, going to come home in second tonight, and Hector Jr. in third. Brian Lambert fourth, and Reggie Gill going to come home with top 5.
Rounding out the top 10, the 125, BJ Tidricks, who started second and ran second for much of the early stages of this one. Casey Tillman, who had a good run going in the 25, had some speed in the second half of that race. Watch for him to make some noise in race number 2. James Paulson, one of the Martinsville winners. Dylan Huffines and Seth Fraser round out the top 10.
Travis McKinney going to come home just outside the top 10 in 11th. Christopher Heim in 12th. Josh Robinson in 13th. That car just couldn't seem like it could catch a break tonight. Matt Hackathorn in 14th. And Josh Childress going to come home in the 15th position.
16th was the 9 of Andrew Richardson, who made his debut. Brad Morrison, Bill Ross Jr., Scott Walker, and coming home in 20th, Daniel Masters.
Kyle Larr home 21st here tonight. Shane Quinn 22nd. Garrett Huffines in 23rd. And Scott Mann going to round out the field for this first A-main event tonight in 24th. Alright, so we're going to step away for just a quick second. Going to get set up in the next session here for our second race of the night. Go away. When we come back, it'll be more racing from Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Brad Morrison with MountainView Polaris. Tired of being cooped up all winter long? Tired of your old lady complaining about this and that? Let's give her something to complain about. Come on down and see us here at MountainView Polaris. We got a great selection on side-by-sides, ATVs, and even a few snowmobiles. We also have products for the kids. We've also been known to do a deal over a good old bottle of tequila, or hell, even a simple coin flip. It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission, so come see us, Mountain View Polaris.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
And we welcome you back to the Phoenix International Raceway here tonight for our second A main event for the iRacing Northwest Tour presented by Joe's Racing Products. Our first A main of the night, 80 laps, was quite the race. A lot of fantastic racing, possibly one of the best we've seen all season, and I'm sure the second one is going to be no different. I'm Justin Kolb alongside Greg Rentz once again, and Greg, like we said, that last one was amazing, and I'm sure this next one is going to be no different.
I'm sure of it. These guys brought their A game tonight because they wanted to test, or not so much test, but they wanted to show tribute, I should say, to these guys that they're sporting their paint schemes. They wanted to have a race worthy of them, and they have done exactly that. This is just like watching one of the races from when I was from my childhood. I think Jason Berg mentioned it in his interview. It was like he was a kid again. It's the exact same feeling up here for me, because these are the paint schemes that we grew, or me, Jason, and all these guys, we all grew up watching these cars. Some of them actually are running their own stuff or tributes to some of members of their own families. So it's just so much fun to see these cars out there right now.
Absolutely. So time on your screen right now is not correct. We're going to be, we just got the message, we're going to be going racing in 3 minutes. Seth Fraser just announcing that on the text chat. So be set to go green, or at least grid up here, in about 3 minutes. Guys getting a bit more practice in for our second race of the night. And this time it looks like we're going to have a bit more sunshine directly on the track, and track temp is definitely indicative of that. Got 95 degrees right now, so Greg, this is going to be a pretty different animal from what these guys were just on.
And it's going to be fun to watch. One thing I just noticed looking at the ticker, Bart Hector Jr., the number 65 in the first race, he has changed to number 20 to finish out the tribute scheme to Dirk Stevens, as he was running Stevens' paint scheme but was on Kelly Tanner and Tyler Tanner's number. He was on the Tanner family number, but finally was able to switch it for this race to number 20 to correctly pay tribute to Dirk Stevens. He finished third in that first race, but fastest in practice right there. No surprise, as just so many times over the years we've seen this orange Shane Mitchell 99 at top of the speed charts, and Kyle Larb was on a tear through the field before he got swept up in an accident in that first race.
And we'll see if he can't get up towards the front. Sorry, I was reading a admin message there, but so Kyle Larb at the top of the speed charts at the moment. No surprise, winner of the first one, Jason Berg second, and Reginald Gill. Greg, we almost had a three-peat there with drivers who started on the pole for these twin events and just dominating it all. Jason Berg stole the party for him, though.
Man, what a run Reggie Gill had in that 12 car going. For his first start of the year, it was an incredible run for him to get up there, lead laps. Berg was able to make the pass, but man, we mentioned it before the broadcast. Reggie Gill puts on a show no matter what. He is always a guy you want to keep an eye on, and he proved it right there.
Oh, he definitely put on a show. Finished it out with the top 5 for his first race of the season. He's hoping for similar results, if not better, tonight. So, getting close to advancing the session and getting to racing once again here at Phoenix. 199 on the screen right now, Scott Walker.
And you see Josh Childress, the B-main winner. And he was up there in the mix at the end, too. He had a great run going and a great battle with McKinney that got pretty fun to watch for a while there, Justin.
Yes, sir, it did. Towards the end of that race is really when everybody started showing their muscle, and it got really fun to watch. That 12 of Reggie Gill. And there is the advancement of the session. We'll grid them up, rack them up one more time here tonight. I think we'll be rolling by here as these guys take to the grid. It appears that there is only 20 cars in this field here tonight, or in the second field tonight. Some guys, I'm assuming, couldn't quite get to the second one, whether it was, most likely time is here on the West Coast. It is almost 9 o'clock, and of course, being a Sunday, you guys have to work the next day, so understandable in that sense.
And I am among one of those, as you see the starting lineup rolling through, and one guy, or a couple guys up here that might be some heavy hitters at the start of this race. The 18 of Josh Childress, the 46 of Matt Hackathorn, and the 5 of Travis McKinney. They all showed some serious speed in that first race.
Well, let's see if continue the tradition a bit where guy at front at least leads the most laps. That is the 34 of Andrew Richardson, changing his number from the 9 to the 34.
A couple of guys changing their numbers for this second half.
The 20 cars in the field for the second one. Another 80 laps to go. Alright, well.
Field getting set.
Yes, it's going to be Andrew Richardson, Josh Childress, your front row here to lead them off for the second A-main of the night.
Keep your eye on Hackathorn in the 46 to make his move on the start, but field in the hands of Richardson, we're green.
It looked like Childress tried to time out that restart and misjudged it, and it was going to pay the price here as they enter turn 1.
Hackathorn to the inside in the 46. Woo! Good run by Childress on the outside. Here comes Christopher Heim in the 2. Heim, remember, picked up the B-main win to Stafford. He's looking to build
contact!
On that. Oh, my goodness.
Josh Robinson around, as well as the 5, and a lot of cars going to be involved in this one already.
Wow.
Happened way too quick.
I don't even know where to begin on that one. That was just so much happening at once. Robinson got the wall, and man, that was rough for Chris Hart / Travis McKinney.
Saw that 12 car possibly involved in that. forward with Josh Robinson. We got the ball there.
Got hit from behind, I believe at the 25, Tillman, which knocked him into the 73 of Fraser. And taking a look, this was a tough break. The 12 of Reggie Gill had so much speed at the start of that first race, and right there gets collected.
Absolutely nowhere to go. They all piled in around him.
One more look at it. Here we ride along with the 20 of Hector Jr. See what he saw.
Hard on the binders there. Avoided it all.
Does a great job getting through, but how much damage did that do to the tires? How much did that wear off early?
Well, interesting enough, looking at the lap counter there, it appears that this race is going to be 6 laps shorter than our first one. So
Notice
74
that.
laps.
Notice that. 74 laps the scheduled distance right now. So the 34 of Richardson leads, Josh Childress second, and taking a look in the back, this 99 of Kyle Lahr, 84 Brad Morrison, a couple of boys from Central Washington, Ephrata, Moses Lake area. His lights are out on the pace car.
Little quick yellow there. Get him filed back up. Like we have 2 cars still sitting on pit road, the 5 of Travis McKinney and the 357 of Josh Robinson. Other than that, all cars will return to racing. Some worse for wear, more worse for wear. If Josh Childress can't get a better restart this time, kind of mistimed it that last one or that first one.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little bit ahead of the game to start it, and it cost him big time. I wouldn't say much better because Richardson went way earlier that time.
Well, at least he didn't have to check up that time, and he's going to get what looks like a good run running that middle line. And he's going to get pretty close to the wall on exit. Here comes Matt Hackathorn to the bottom.
Hackathorn to the inside, driving the Berkshire Dodge. Battle between Hackathorn and Childress with Heim and Fraser behind him.
Got a lot of side-by-side racing down that front straightaway. Going to be 3 wide back there towards the back, and that's going to cycle out there.
Reggie Gill, the 12, is one in that pack I'm keeping my eye on right now because he got caught up in that wreck.
Oh,
early.
contact! The 99!
Oh!
Make
Tidricks
contact,
goes around, collects Lambert and the Evans car. I think that's all that's going to happen on this one.
And it was contact with Kyle Lahr to the back of that 125 that set that off. Whether it was a checkup or just kind of misjudged it, we'll have to wait and see on the replay.
Oh, I caught the tail end of the spin. Here we go. See what happens. That's bright spin to the inside there. Ooh, contact.
I'm not sure if he misjudged it or possibly checked up earlier.
See if we can't go on board with the 99 of Lahr and see if we can try to figure it out. Here we go. Net code, yep.
Seems to almost be a running theme tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a bit. And we actually have. It's kind of been a growing trend in the Northwest Tour. Didn't see a whole lot of it at the start of the year, but as the season's worn on, we've seen it pop up more and more. And going back to our earlier conversation, Justin, the ticker has been corrected to 80.
I was just going to say, yeah. That was not only on the ticker here on our broadcast, on my timing and scoring, it was also 74 laps. So I guess they heard us. Something did, and it corrected itself. So
Have to wonder if someone watching the broadcast shot the tower officials a message and let them know, hey, something's going on here.
well, either way, we will be going the full distance here tonight.
Well, while we're under yellow, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. This is not the only thing I've got going this time of year. I also do some work for a hockey team, and guys, I gotta give my boys, the Spokane Braves, a shout out because for the first time since 2015, we qualified for the playoffs last night and picked up a huge win against our likely first round opponent today, the Beaver Valley Nighthawks. A huge win for the Braves, so I wanted to just give them a quick shout out and let them know that we are getting fired up for the playoffs here in Spokane.
Yeah, but
Taking a look now at the 30 of James Paulson, paying tribute to Jim Paulson in the 30. Haven't gotten a chance to talk much about that 30 car. The Martinsville winner, he's really turned it up since that win, Justin.
yes, sir. He's been up towards the front ever since then, really, and has been contending, if not for wins, at least for top fives and definitely top 10 finishes since then.
All right, Andrew Richardson in the 34 making his debut tonight, and Justin, he's making his debut, and we mentioned it in the first race. This series has had some good luck for the guys making their debut, but no one's really been able to capitalize and get that win yet.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if he's been the luckiest. That first race took quite the tumble down the front straightaway, and the good thing about that was, though, even though he slid on his roof basically down full length of the front straightaway, got back on his wheels and kept going, so...
And we understand a little issue with the ticker, the 18. There is Josh Childress. We're working to get that fixed on the ticker as we get set to go green.
Andrew Richardson going to try it once again from the front row, as well as Josh Childress starting second. Matt Hackathorn in third, Seth Fraser fourth, Dylan Huffines in fifth.
It's Kelly Mann, John Bender, Jeff Berkshire, Gary Lewis, Ron Eaton, top five. Here we go.
A much
Great,
better restart.
much better restart. That was fantastic by both guys there. Look at the 73 of Fraser. He's wheeling that Lewis car on the extreme outside right now to start this one. Here comes Childress to the inside, but he lost his momentum.
Well, I think he kind of backed up his entry, see what he can't do on the exit here. He wound it up pretty good, and he's going to get back to the inside of the 34. Be side by side down the front, and into turn one, he's still going to have a good run.
To the inside. Oh, he bobbled again. Off turn number 2 that time. Meanwhile, the battle breaks out for third between Lewis and Berkshire there. Fraser, the 73, Hackathorn, the 46, and Hackathorn's going to fall into the clutches of Old Eaton. Dylan Huffines, the 7, and here comes race 1 winner, Jason Berg, driving the Pete Harding Special.
And not too far behind him, that 33 is Sean Breitzman, slowly coming with him, slowly working his way up towards the front.
As is the 20 of Hector, the third place finisher.
Berg underneath the 7 of Huffines. Ahead.
I was on board with Kyle Lahr, the Shane Mitchell throwback. If you take a good look at Dylan Huffines, the Huffines brothers, I think they're the only two guys who are actually running their numbers. They went with a tribute to someone who ran their number. Although a little bit of an interesting tidbit as we take a look at the 46 of Hackathorn, his actual race cars are number 46 in the Northwest little circuit here with his 4-cylinder cars. His actual cars are 46. His iRacing cars are 44. Yeah, Garrett didn't make the call for the second race. Not sure what's going on there. Meanwhile,
say, I don't believe he finished the first one, and it looks like he won't be in the second one either. So, 2 hard hits for that brother, Garrett Huffines.
And oh man, Pete Harding special. That 39 car looks just like it did for many years throughout his 50-year career. Jason Berg is giving that 39 car a heck of a run right now.
Up to third, not too far behind that battle for the lead. 20 of Bart Hector Jr. and Sean Breitzman going at it off corner number 2 and down the back.
On board with leader Richardson in the 34. Trying to put the pressure on him is the 18 of Childress. Boy, Hackathorn, I don't know what happened, but that 46 car is, he hit something because he went from 3rd to 9th.
Ooh, that's going to get tight. Contact.
Oh!
Kyle Lawler and Bart Hector Jr. Oh, an incredibly hard hit for that 33, I believe. Yes, of
Sean Breitzman. Man, oh man, 2nd and 3rd.
That car has to be
collected
done.
just like that. Well, he's wheeling it off. Let's take a look at what happened.
It'll be an incredibly hard hit.
Man, that looked like Jeff Gordon at Las Vegas all those years ago.
Almost 10 times harder, though. Thankfully, there was a tire barrier there for Don, whether that's good or not for the suspension.
He was able to drive it away. On board with Kyle Lard, contact there, and
Hector
man.
had to have checked up at that point. For what? I'm not quite sure of, though.
See if we can take one more look at it, perhaps. Here we go. Let's keep an eye on the 20 of Hector. It's Fraser in front of him. Huffines to the inside. And I don't know.
Perhaps he was eyeing the 7 of Huffines below him, but there was definitely some sort of checkup that Lar did not get the message for.
And Hackathorn lost in that. Matt Hackathorn did a great job to squeak through that in the 46. This is on board with Breitzman.
Be a hard hit.
Buckle up, because here it comes. Oof.
Man.
And that's a scary thing when that car just comes to a dead stop like that. He's able to wheel it back to pit road.
Hit
But
right at
have
the
to,
exit.
yeah, have to imagine.
Hit right at the exit of that road course exit there, Greg.
That was a vicious shot. I think that would probably be in the top 5 hardest hits we've had all year.
Absolutely. Well, no surprise, Breitzman is sitting on pit road trying to make whatever repairs he can to that car at this point. But I have a feeling that night might be over for Breitzman, and his great run that he had that first race is going to be, might be all for naught in the second one. He's rolling off pit road right now, actually, so. Car doesn't look great, and I imagine it's not going to handle great, but at this point, Greg, you kind of have to go with what you have and try and get the most points you can.
Let's see what happens with that 33 of Breitzman. I honestly can't say I see that 33 car going much further.
Sorry, he's currently 17th at the moment, still on the lead lap. And only have one car out of the race so far. It's the 357 of Josh Robinson. Everybody else still on the lead lap.
So getting set to go green, quarter of the way through this second main event. Andrew Richardson's led all 20 laps, but hard hitters behind him.
Well, in the last race, the pole sitter led the most laps, did not go on to take the victory. See if Richardson can change it. Green flag back out. Kind of an even start there between the top two. Not too far behind is Jason Berg.
Keeping an eye on Childress, the 18. Getting a run, and Jason Berg not going away either. There's a run on the outside by Childress, but he kind of lost his ground. Boy, that 34 is really strong through the center of the corner.
And Berg all over the rear bumper of Childress now. Battle for second, most likely going to start up, and I think it's going to happen at a turn 2. Childress got a little higher than I thought he would have liked. Well, now he's on the charge and to the inside of the leader, Andrew Richardson.
That might come back to bite him, though, as it looks like Berg was able to get a little bit of a run, but backs out of it for the time being, so it worked out.
Oh, 34!
It's the 34. And that's going to allow Childress to get a run here. They touch! Oh, Childress had a golden opportunity, makes the save.
Oh, it's going to be contact!
And there we go.
Oh, Kyle Larr going to get involved in that one. Christopher Heim
also.
Nowhere for Heim to go in that one.
Oh, man, Josh Childress. There's the initial contact. He saved it there, and I thought he was going to save it, but Berg was just going to make a run on the inside, but there it went.
Kyle Larr involved.
Childress saved it, and I thought he was going to just let Berg go. Right here, I thought he was just going to let Berg go to try to settle it down and chase him down, but the contact was made, and there it was.
And really, that whole wreck started off corner number 4, and there's Christopher Heim involved.
That was a hard shot, too, for the 2. One more look at it. This is from the 2 of Heim.
Yeah, you're really going to see that. I don't think he had anywhere to go. At least that's what it looked like from the blimp.
Up there you see the wreck, and incoming, it's smoke, and all of a sudden, hey, there's a car.
And I'm sure Heim thought that he was going to roll back a little bit more, and the hole was going to open.
I made a little bit of contact with Scott Walker on the front stretch too, as you saw what Jason Berg saw. Now looking at his rear view mirror, and Pete Harding versus Gary Lewis set up at Phoenix. Jason Berg, Seth Fraser.
Fraser with a little bit of damage to that car, front end.
Dylan Huffines up to 3rd in the 7. He's looking for a bounce back. We mentioned it that Garrett was looking for a bounce back. Dylan, he's been plagued by those same issues, so both Huffines brothers looking for a bounce back, and Dylan up here in 3rd right now.
Bart Hector Jr. in 4th, the podium in our last one.
And Kyle Larr is in 5th after all the adventures he's been on in this race.
Involved in that most recent yellow, too. I'm imagining lights are going to go out this time.
And look at how banged up that 73 is. Seth Fraser, no lights stay on, but man, look at that 73 car, just how banged up the right side of that car is.
Hopefully, hoping it's just cosmetic, I'm sure.
Taking a look at the back of Jason Berg right now. This from the pace car. And it's so awesome to see all these old throwback schemes.
Got a whole lot of them in the field.
Berg leads, Fraser in 2nd, and it's Huffines, Hector, and Larr your top 5.
No surprise. Got a few more cars off the track at the moment. Andrew Richardson not out of it yet, rolling off pit road now. He is a lap down. Scott Walker and Josh Robinson out of the race here tonight.
There you see Childress on pit road. Looking at these top 5, I believe the only one without damage is the 39 of Berg, and that could spell disaster for the rest of the field.
We already saw how strong that car was in the first race, and the only real difference is that we have more of the sun out right now. Track temp currently 92 degrees. So the hottest that they've dealt with so far.
You have to wonder, the track temp heating up, who's that gonna benefit? Because that first race was cloudy and overcast. We saw what that first race did, but with the hotter track temp, that could open the door for the guys who were saving their tires.
Absolutely. All right. Pace car going to pull off. It'll be Berg, Fraser, Huffines, Hector, and Larr, your top 5. Imagine Berg going to sit on the afterburners here. Man, really stacked up that restart.
He gunned it after stacking them up. My game is by Berg. Yeah, Kyle Larr to the outside of Hector. Hackathorn back up to 6th. He's the first car after Berg with no damage, and that's amazing considering what Hackathorn's had to deal with. But boy, Kyle Larr is giving that Mitchell car one heck of a run. He's paying Mitchell proud right now in that 99 car.
He's going to get to the outside of Huffines, and will barely get the nose outside. They're all in contact!
Oh, contact!
Huffines saves it.
Still fighting with, and he still hangs on. Boy, Dylan Huffines had a save just like that in the first race. 2 incredible saves on the day for Dylan Huffines.
No, we're going to get past him there. On that high side, Hackathorn going to try and follow that open door.
I think I saw some damage on the rear of Hackathorn. No, it was my eyes messing with me. I had to take a peek at the back bumper. He follows Laura on the outside of Huffines. He's already cleared Hector. Now he clears Huffines. How about this top 3? Pete Harding, Gary Lewis, Shane Mitchell. For our Northwest fans watching, how many times have we seen this over the years? These 3 cars running away with it. Taking a look at Fraser in the 73. Kyle Larr, the 99. And man, I mentioned it in the first race. Kyle Larr, just the tear he's been on lately, it reminds me so much of watching Shane Mitchell in that 99 car. I could not think of a more perfect throwback car for Kyle Larr to run than that 99 with Mitchell. I mean, it looks exactly like watching Mitchell race over the years.
You mentioned running away with it, and that's exactly what Jason Berg is doing right now. Just a little bit short of a 1.5-second lead over that second spot of Seth Fraser, and will probably increase when those two get battling side by side. As Larr going to peek to the inside now off corner number 2. Going to be side by side for second down the back. And
Larr putting the pressure on through 3 and 4. Mitchell clears Lewis. And now, this top 2 in the Northwest, we didn't really get to see these two go to war a whole lot. Pete Harding and Shane Mitchell. Never really saw a race come down to those two, so this is going to be an interesting battle with Berg and Larr. This is a battle we've been waiting all year for, and a battle that Northwest fans over the years have always wanted to see, the yellow 39 and the orange 99. We're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone with this battle.
And of course, those 2 drivers in the car right now, Jason Berg and Kyle Larr, no strangers to each other. Those 2 always finding their way up towards the front.
I think Larr may need a yellow, though, to try to get back up there. I think he's going to need a yellow to try to really do something with Berg.
Well, we still got quite a bit of ways to go, so a yellow, and I think you're right on that one. I think that 39 may have too much speed for Larr to be able to catch, but still got a long ways to go, so see what he can do. Just behind Larr, though, Hackathorn to the inside of Seth Fraser, and it looks like he'll get that spot.
And the Berkshire Dodge gets around the Lewis Pontiac. Woo! Good run by Fraser on the outside, though.
He's going to fight back. Going to be side by side down the back straightaway. And Hackathorn not going to have a great entry. See what he can do on exit.
Yeah, great fight back there by Seth Fraser in the 73. I thought for sure Hackathorn was going to honk the horn and wave as he drove by, but Fraser came fighting back. Good battle there. Great stuff from Fraser.
That battle's still
Don't
going
look
on.
now. Don't look now, though, but Hector is closing in on this battle also in the top 5. Hector with a couple great runs so far in the Dirk Stevens throwback. 65 in the first race with Tanner's number. And went to the full-on Stevens car for the second half. I was watching the 46 in the mirror, and things are closer than they appeared, and they appeared pretty close there in the mirror, kind of just watching the 46 in the mirror of the 20 car there.
Tell you what, you can throw a blanket over the 3rd through 9th cars right there. They're all on your screen. And a great battle going on there between Matt Hackathorn and James Paulson now, as well as just ahead, Bart Hector Jr. and Seth Fraser going at it.
And those two are great friends, Hector and Fraser. they've been two of the driving forces in putting this series together. So much fun to watch and hang out with these guys, and here they are battling it out for third here at Phoenix. And look at James Paulson getting up there in the 30.
One car that's been on a bit of a tear as well, that 7 of Dylan Huffines. Worked past the 64 of Brian Lambert. Now working on Matt Hackathorn there in the 46.
Yeah, Huffines beginning to work his way back in the Von Eaton throwback, trying to pull Garrett Evans in the 64 with him. Great pick by Brian Lambert to wheel that Evans Blue 64. And don't look now, because that's Brad Morrison in the Frank Brown 84 coming in as well, paying tribute to probably the most successful late model team out of Ephrata to ever run the Northwest. The Montana 200 winning team there, that 84 of the Brandt Racing with Christian Roeder behind the wheel.
Fraser and Hector still going at it there. Also not too far behind. As it gets really close in 3 and 4.
Paulson right there as well.
That wide corner in 3 and 4 really sets you up for a lot of great racing. 1 and 2, not quite the same, but just about a little bit more banking there.
Man, great up and under by Fraser there on Hector. He pulled that up and under off perfectly, and he's going to pull Paulson with him. This could be Paulson's big move.
Hector trying to slam that door, but Paulson going to barely have the nose inside. And he'll keep the nose in there.
Paulson to the inside of Hector.
Almost some contact there with Hector and Fraser.
What a battle this is. Fraser gets away with it for now. Paulson back there. This is looking back out of the 20 of Hector. You see the battle between Hackathorn and Huffines.
Well, this battle goes on there. Just an update on the leaders. Kyle Lars slowly catching the 39 of Jason Berg. Not by a huge margin each lap, but a notable each lap.
Just chipping away. Currently 1.5 seconds between Berg and Lar. And this has been the battle a lot of Northwest Tour fans have been wanting this season. The battle between Berg and Lar. And this is a battle as Lar cuts another 10th off of Berg. This is the battle that Northwest racing fans for years wanted to see. The Pete Harding versus Shane Mitchell battle that really we never really got.
That battle for that 4th spot looks like it just concluded. Hector gets the advantage over Paulson for the time being, but Paulson going to fight back on the inside. We're past halfway in this one.
Hackathorn gets the run on the outside. Here comes Morrison to the outside of Evans as Hector goes back to work on Paulson in the 30. Clears him on the outside. They run through the dog leg, and this is an incredible battle.
Someone got the wall down the back straightaway. I'm not sure who that was, but it sounded like someone got it. Big green. As quickly as they were side by side, 3 rows deep, now all of a sudden it's just a single file line down the dog leg.
But don't look away though, because Hector was taking a peek on the inside of Fraser. Coming back is Paulson.
Still trying to fight for that spot with Hector.
You can see the 20 kind of poking in and out of this view out the windshield of Paulson. Ooh, Paulson almost made a little contact with Fraser there. Hector's able to fight him back off. Hector now takes a look to the inside of Fraser. Can't get a run that time. Paulson hanging right there, waiting to pick his time.
I don't think Paulson's strong enough on that bottom line. It just seems like when he gets pinched down that bit, that's where he really loses all his speed, and now he's going to try for that high side. Can't quite get there yet.
Hackathorn back to the bumper of Paulson as Hector goes to work on Fraser once again. Up front, Lar has cut another 10th off, but this is the battle right now.
Now Hector going to get to the inside of Fraser. See what he can do down in turns 1 and 2. Has him cleared for the moment. Fraser going to fight back once again. Could turn into a 3-car battle here.
4-car battle as Hackathorn sneaks up. Man, that's the second time Fraser's gotten that huge run through 1 and 2 on the outside.
Car is definitely strong on that high side.
As is the 46 of Hackathorn, as he is going to get the nose in front of Paulson. But no, back comes Paulson, and hanging tough there is Dylan Huffines and Brad Morrison. Brian Lambert's back there as well. There he is in the 64. This is awesome. This is awesome racing right now between these guys.
As we get later into this run, I'd have to believe that groove is going to start to move more and more up towards the wall, and I think we're already starting to see that, where some of those guys were running the bottom and couldn't quite complete the pass as the 73 of Fraser gets loose. Hackathorn all over the rear bumper.
Oh, Hector with a big slide.
Oh, and there's a little bit of contact.
And around they go.
Fraser doesn't hit anything, though.
Fraser doesn't hit anything, does a 360. Hackathorn checked up, but we go yellow. 30 to go.
Simple spin there, and of course, I don't think Hackathorn had any intention of hitting him. He backed off before they got to the corner. A little bit of contact and really nothing he could do about that one.
Yeah, he did a great job to check up. Let's go on board with him. Starting from here, there's the run. No contact there. Backs off. Oh, a little bit of contact. Hector slides up the track, and Fraser had to check up to save it, and there's nowhere for Hackathorn to go. Just nobody's fault, just a tough racing deal. Interesting to see what the officials' call is on that one.
You can see right there, Hackathorn brakes a little earlier to make sure that he doesn't run into the back, and of course the contact there slows up the 73. A simple loop, no one involved other than those two, and they both get to keep going.
Alright, so we go yellow and we will reset, and Justin, this is going to set it up. This is the duel we wanted.
Oh, absolutely, and Lara was slowly chipping away at that lead. Now he's got it right in front of him. And this is, I think this is going to give you a pretty interesting. Berg really hasn't had a challenge all night. He had to deal with Gil earlier in that first one, but Lar did not have a great first race. Up there for the second one.
And he honestly hasn't had that great a race this one either. He has been caught up in a couple of incidents, so for him to be up in second with 28 to go, that's pretty incredible.
I mean, he only has a little bit of damage on the front, just a little bump or a little dent, but that's about it. Could have been a lot worse for that 99.
Don't look now, though, because the 20 of Hector is in third once again. He was third in the first race, caught up in one of those incidents, and here he is third again.
I do have to wonder, though, if that 20 of Hector has kind of abused the tires a little bit too much. We saw how much he was trying to get a run and really abusing that bottom line. Trying to get a run on that 73, but to no avail. Let's see what that car is going to look like here on this restart. See if he can't battle for the lead.
We'll see. You made a good point of that battle that was going on with all those guys. How much did he use up the tires? And I'm also wondering, how much did Lar use up the tires trying to chip away at Berg? Because cautions aren't guaranteed, so you know Lar was giving it his all trying to get up there to Berg.
And you got to wonder how much, if any, Jason Berg was kind of holding back a little bit. Like I said, if any. It'll be interesting to see if any tire saving was going on in that 39 camp.
Well, Berg is known to, if he gets a big enough lead, he's known to kind of ease off and save tires in case of a situation like this in which tires are called upon late in the race on a restart. So I would not be surprised if Berg was only going about 50% for a little bit of that at least.
Lights are out on the pace car, and yeah, I mean, the pace wasn't chipping away at an exponential rate, so you have to wonder if, should we have not had that caution, and should the rates have stayed green, whether Lar would have got there in time or not. But obviously all that's out the window as he is right on the rear bumper of Jason Berg, who will be restarting in that first position. Kyle Larr in second, Bart Hector Jr. third, James Paulson fourth, Dylan Huffines rounds out your top 5.
All right, Berg, Larr, Harding, Mitchell. 2 battles that we have wanted to see for a long time. Here we go.
Go on board with the 99 of Kyle Larr for this one. Pace car going to dive off. And it's these 2 giants going to be racing for the win here. Or can someone else get involved? Green flag back out.
Great start by Berg there as he again timed it perfect. But Larr not going away as quickly as the last restart. Let's see if he can begin chipping away at Berg once again.
1 car behind all this. Brad Morrison had a great restart. Instantly got to the inside of Dylan Huffines there. It's a battle for the 5th spot.
Larr with a good run through 3 and 4 there as we go back on board the 99. Saw him kind of close the gap a little bit. Let's see what it is here at the line.
There's that battle between the 84 and now 64.
Morrison and Lambert with Dylan Huffines right in front of them.
But back up front, I have to wonder if Larr is a bit of a longer run car. If that car really likes, or if that car starts to come in the later we get into a run. So that's about what they had last time. That seemed like that's where that 99 car was faster.
I don't know. It looks like Larr has actually closed the gap quite a bit over the initial restart. We look back out the back of Berg right now. I have to say, Larr is hanging tough with Berg right now. 23 to go. Justin, is it go time that you want to go 100% yet, or do you wait another few laps?
I think we wait another few laps. I think around 10 laps to go. Since he's close enough, I think that's when you start worrying about it. At this point, it's kind of maintaining the gap. And if you get an opportunity to take it, you do. But if not, just kind of maintain and keep him in your sights and hope the 3rd place doesn't get there.
0.2 of a second the gap last time by, and boy, Larr, he is not going away. Matter of fact, he is indeed closing on that 39 car. It's getting closer and closer. Here we go.
As he keeps eating them up just a little bit at a time off each corner. And entering the corner as well, it appears, as he's just about to that rear bumper.
I'd say Lar's best shot is going to be on corner entry, just based off what we've seen the last couple of laps. I think his best shot is going to be entry of turn 1, based off what we've seen so far in this run.
Of course, the one thing you don't want to do is try and overshoot a corner, possibly dived in a little deeper than you really need to go.
There it was again. I think that's going to be Lar's best shot, is to get a run right there at the entrance of turn 1.
Into 3. Larr with a bit of a higher entry, and you'll see him get more towards that yellow line on exit. A good run out. 19 laps to go.
Big run for Kyle Larr in the turn 1 there.
Ate him up on corner entry, but lost a bit on corner exit. Kind of got the wall, if any. A little kiss.
Meanwhile, back here, great battle. There's another battle we've seen so many times. I think we said this in the first race. 73-64. One of the greatest rivalries in the Northwest. Garrett Evans, Gary Lewis, unfolding right here. Brian Lambert, Seth Fraser.
Not too far behind that as well. Wow, we have a pack of 3 cars that was literally nose to tail back there with Reggie Guild, the first car in that line. Seth Fraser just ahead of him. Or excuse me, Sean Breitzman.
17 to go for Berg, and wow, look at that off turn 4. Almost single file, except for Tidrick peeking under Fraser.
Watching that battle up front at the moment, and Larr kind of lost some ground off corner number 2 that time. Didn't quite gain it back, so loses a bit of ground, but still a long ways to go.
Tidrick able to clear Fraser back here in this battle, though. Sets his sights on Lambert. Boy, Seth Fraser, that had to be tough. A tough pill for him to swallow to go to the back after having such a great run. Here's Brad Morrison. He's having a good run in that 84 car, the Frank Brandt car.
He's been all but glued to that 7 car of Dylan Huffines ever since the restart.
Oh, back up front, Kyle Lard. Now he's caught back up to Berg. 15 to go. Justin, go time now.
I mean, he's just kind of working them at this point. I think he's trying to figure out where his strengths are and where his weaknesses are. And I think, unfortunately for Lar, corner number 2, or at least the exit, is all Jason Berg. He's going to have to work on that a little bit more if he wants to be able to set up a pass entering 3.
Man, but that 99 is so strong going into turn number 1. Haven't really been able to tell who's stronger right here in turn 3 because they've kind of been going back and forth. Berg's been stronger once, Lara will be stronger the next. So really turn 3 I think is the X factor in this battle.
Absolutely. He loses a bit of ground. Kyle Lara did on exit. Not a huge amount, but enough ground to notice it at least visually. He got a great exit off corner number 2 that time.
Did one of them catch the wall there? I could not tell. I saw some sparks flying. I think one of them may have caught the wall. Here comes Lar to the outside.
Best chance he's had all night at it.
Oh, dive. He thought about the dive bomb. Thought better of it. Here it is into turn 1. Lar, Berg.
Watch this run.
See what he's got. Oh, Berg, a little bit of a bubble. He got the wall that time.
Little bobble. That allows Lar to eat him up down the back. That door is going to be open. Does Lar put his nose in?
I think he waits to turn 1 to put his nose in. Here it comes. Oh, he got loose. That's gonna cost him that time. He's gonna have to set it up again.
I think it's a bit too early to put your nose in a situation where it doesn't really need to be, and I think Lar knows that.
Man, Berg has caught the wall off turn 2 3 laps in a row. This could...
I was about to say, look ahead. We have at least 1 lap car in that windshield of Jason Berg, whether they can get to him in time or not. Oh man, Lar really lit us off.
What a bobble by Lar. What a save. 1 car up there.
That's the 5, I believe, of Travis McKinney, yes. That's the only lap car, should they catch him, that they will catch.
Lar took a really high entry into the dogleg that time. Right there, there's that X factor. They're so even in turn 3, it's hard to really pick out who has the advantage. Let's see what happens here. 9 to go. Man, that 99 is so strong on corner entry. But Berg so strong on exit, keeps it off the wall that time, and able to stretch the gap a little bit.
Got a good run down the back, doesn't have enough time to get to the rear bumper. It's close.
Closing in on the 5 of McKinney. Here comes Lar. He's got the run. You can no longer see the Sheffield emblem as he goes into turn 1. He was to the bumper of Berg that time.
Will that hurt him off the corner? No,
Here
it will
comes.
not.
Here it
get
comes.
The nose.
Can Lar get
it
there?
Is.
To the inside, door to door.
I was going to say, this is going to be the hard part for Lar, is being able to complete the pass on that bottom side. He's going to pinch him a little bit. Jason Berg will. Going to be side by side off 4.
Lar, Berg, Harding, Mitchell for the win at Phoenix. Lar to the inside. Got
lap car gets out of the way.
Yeah, great move by McKinney there to give them space. Lar, Berg, door to door in the 3. Lar with the advantage that time.
Getting tight.
Crowd on their feet as Lar and Berg duke it out. This is the battle we've wanted all year long. We finally get it, and what a show it is.
6 laps to go, Greg. This might turn into a photo finish.
We'll see. Berg was able to clear off turn number 2 that time. Lar has to try again.
Now, I was going to say, I don't think Lar's done quite yet. I think at this point, coming to 5 laps to go, maybe try a different line. Don't have much to lose at this point. Gonna get really loose!
Big bobble!
Oh, and into the wall.
Oh,
Man.
no.
Well, it wasn't for a lack of effort. He gave it all he had tonight. Well, I mean, at this point, I think his shot at winning is over at this point, unless Jason Berg makes
And he
bobble.
just made it just too much off turn number 4 and hard into the inside wall. What a heartbreak for Lar. One more look at it.
Throw the wheels off it, though. You're just see it here, trying to get all he can off corner number 4.
Did Shane Mitchell proud, that's for sure. But up front, Jason Berg, 2.3 seconds ahead and smooth sailing for the 39.
Looks like Berg is only going to have to deal with one more lap car should he get there. That's the 34 of Andrew Richardson, our pole sitter for this one.
3 to go for Berg. And boy, he doesn't like it when we talk about him too much, but he makes it hard not to. But Justin, what a battle that was with Lar.
Well,
there.
that was absolutely incredible. One of the best battles we've seen all season. And again, it wasn't for a lack of trying for that 99 of Kyle Lar. He put on a heck of a show. Exactly what we wanted to see.
Back in the pack, a couple cars with a lot of damage. Tidrick, Huffines, Fraser.
That's been going on for a while. Those cars kind of can't seem to get away from each other.
Meanwhile, white flag for Jason Berg.
Well, he took the first one away from that 12 car of Reggie Gill. This time, it was a hard-fought battle with that 99 of Kyle Lar. Last time he had it a bit easier with Sean Breitzman, couldn't quite get to him. This time it was a hard-fought battle with that 99, but once again, that 39 car going to prevail. It's going to be Jason Berg going to sweep the night here at Phoenix.
So Jason Berg sweep. And he is the first driver to sweep the twin main events this season.
Sure.
Bart Hector Jr., another third place for the 20, so 2 third place finishes for Hector tonight.
As far as Sean Breitzman goes, he's going to come home with a top 10 in 10th. Either way, though, this is not what he wanted to see for his championship hopes. Like I said, after tonight, 3 more races to go. You guys getting lined up for another round of pictures. Jason Berg, all too familiar with that spot here tonight.
Man, Justin, I cannot get over that battle we saw between Jason Berg and Kyle Lar there.
Me neither. All right, well, Greg, I believe we've caught up with our third place finisher here.
Yeah, Bart Hector Jr., Greg Renson the Tower, got a copy.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Not as pretty as the first one, but it's another third place, and you were in a hornet's nest pretty much that whole race.
Yeah, I thought that damage was going to slow me down, but it didn't really affect the drivability of the car at all, so I was able to still rally up here.
Yeah, and were you able to see the battle between Berg and Lar up there in the closing stages, or were you too far back there and hoping that something would happen between the two of them?
I kind of saw something up there happen because I got closer to Lar because he was way up there, but I didn't really see what happened though. Looked like they were having a good battle though, bumper to bumper.
All right, well, Bart, 2/3 on tonight, probably your best outing of the season to take home 2 third places. That's got to feel good, building some momentum going into our next race.
Oh, definitely. Before the last race, I had a streak of like 3 or 4 bad races and bad points nights, and I feel like I'm redeeming myself, so hopefully the rest of the season I'll be finishing up here more.
All right, well, we'll see if you can carry that momentum into the final stages. Bart, any shout-outs for this race number 2?
Hey, I'll shout out to Seth Fraser, man. That was fun racing with him. I cleared him on the bottom, and he crossed over and passed me back. I'll have to go back and watch your replay.
All right, Bart Hector Jr., 2/3 on the night, 2 podiums. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Craig.
And Justin, you've got 2nd place, Kyle R.
Hey, Kyle R, Justin Cole, we got a copy?
Yeah, man, I do.
Man, that was one of the best battles we've seen all season, and I'm sure it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but man, we know you gave it your all here tonight.
Yeah, I did. I'm heartbroken after that one, but I'm glad Berg got it, and I was able to bounce back after the first race.
Man, walk us through that last restart and kind of the way you were thinking of attacking Jason there, because it seemed at one point, he was hogging the lane, tried to move around a bit, and got to the door at one point, almost to the lead.
I feel bad. I got into BJ earlier on, and I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
All right, well, I'm sure it's not going to be the last time racing for wins here on this season. A 2nd place finish. Anybody you have to thank for that performance?
Joe's Racing Products, the Northwest Tour, my mom, my dad, my fiance, and my brother.
All right, Kyle. Well, congratulations on 2nd here tonight. We'll see you 2 weeks' time at Lucas Oil.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, Greg. Well, sounds like you've caught up for the winner for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, Jason Berg, Greg Rents in the tower. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Wasn't as easy that time, man. You and Kyle Lar, that's the battle we've been waiting for all year long, and it did not disappoint. Tell us about that battle with Lar.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, actually. I knew he was to me. For whatever reason, I was struggling a little bit, hit my marks the 2nd race, so I was watching him inch up on me, and then when we got that yellow, I knew it was kind of game on from there. So I kind of just stuck with what I knew from the first race on old tires, go to the high side, and it'd been hard for him to clear me, and luckily it worked out that way. But he drove a really good race. That was so much fun.
Yeah, and getting some momentum back on your side after a couple of tough lucks. Are you thinking you may want to stick with the Harding scheme for the rest of the year and see if maybe they can keep that good luck, or are you going back to your original scheme?
I'll go back to the original one. It's definitely fun to do these one-off things, though, and everybody got to be their favorite driver tonight. So, like I said earlier, it was super cool to see all these old throwback schemes out there, and I'm sure it brought back a lot of memories for everybody.
Yeah, you mentioned in your first interview that it was like you were a kid again out there, and it was just like being a kid up here in the tower, too, watching all these cars battle it out again. But, Jason, 2 wins on the day. Who do you want to give a shout-out to in Victory Lane?
Like I said earlier, 3Y TV's broadcast, Greg and Justin, you guys do a good job. Seth and BJ, I know they put a lot of work into this. Mike Wood and the other painters, I know they worked a lot of hours, a lot of them voluntary for all these throwback schemes, so it's really cool. Last but not least, Joe's Racing Products, GeForceAerialMedia.com.
All right, Jason Berg, back to back. He sweeps the day. Congratulations, Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
Justin, another race in the books, and it was one heck of a show. Let's go through the finishing order.
Absolutely. Jason Berg going to sweep the night here tonight at Phoenix, and Kyle Lar, not for lack of effort, going to come home in 2nd place tonight. Obviously, didn't sound too happy, but he will live to race another day, and I'm sure a lot more wins in store for him. Bart Hector Jr. in 3rd. James Paulson going to come home in 4th. Brian Lambert going to round out your top 5.
Coming home in the 6th position was Seth Fraser in the 73. He's followed by BJ Tidrick, Dylan Huffines, Matt Hackathorn, and Sean Breitzman.
Brad Morrison going to finish just outside the top 10 in 11th. Reggie Gill going to come home in 12th. Christopher Heim 13th. Casey Tillman in 14th. Andrew Richardson going to round out your top 15 tonight.
Coming home in 16th, Travis McKinney, a night he'd like to forget after a few solid runs for him. Definitely a night he would like to forget. Josh Childress, Bill Ross Jr., Scott Walker, and Josh Robinson rounded out the top 20. And looks like that rounds out the field. So, Justin, it was a Northwest Tour throwback night tonight. I want to thank all the painters who did all the great work out there. Those guys, they know who they are, and it was just an incredible sight to see all those cars out there.
Absolutely, and the racing was just as incredible. Definitely fantastic racing, some of the best we've seen all season, and in the end, Jason Berg showing his dominance once again, sweeping the night here tonight. So we're going to take a week off here for the Daytona 500, so we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Lucas Oil Raceway there in Indianapolis. So enjoy your Daytona 500 if you guys are having any parties or anything like that, and we'll see you 2 weeks' time in Indy.